Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So I've come on today to do my giveaway, my question and answers. So I have my cup of coffee here, which I'll have a little sip of first, and we will get on. Now I had 17 people join me on this giveaway. So there were 17 questions. So I'm going to get on with it and go through it. I don't want the video to be too long. So I hope everyone's well. And we've got quite a nice sunny day today. It was a bit cold this morning, hence why I've got a jumper on. So the first person was Christine from Christine's Cards and Things, and she said, what is my favourite medium to craft with? So I had to think about this one, Christine, because I wasn't sure. I was thinking, you know, is it going to be paint, paste? I'm not sure. And then I thought, well, a medium could be paper. So I'll probably go with something a little bit outside the box, literally, recycling, because I love to recycle things. Nothing gets past my eye before it goes in that recycle bin, and I look at it and think, can I make something with that? Can I do something with that? So it's going to be recycling, I think, Christine. For instance, this came this morning, which is a sort of a book, like a monthly magazine thing that they send through, and it mainly has advertisements and things in it, but the cardstock that they use for it is really thick. So I looked at it and thought, can I make a journal out of this? Because I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go, or I'll make something, even if it's only a book to put in my, you know, Twinchy challenge or my PT tag club. I don't know. I'll reuse that. So that is recycling. And also I had, so my recycling box gets quite big in my craft room. I had this little reed diffuser that I got out the other day, and it's a fresh cotton. It's got this lovely little cotton flowers on it, and I thought, oh, I think I could use that. I like that, so we'll use that for something. So recycled items has to be my favourite medium, Christine. So question 2 was from Jenny from Ginger Ninja Crafts. What a craft I would like to try but haven't. So I would like to try wooden crafts. So I first saw Andrea the Cumbrian Crafter made these bookends, they're called, and she hasn't done one for a while, Andrea, little hint there, but I followed her. Well, I saw when she was showing them, and they're basically little bookends that you put in the bookcase, but they've got little things inside them, like I've got a Fairyland one, which has got little fairies, mushrooms, lights and things. So I have got one. I bought one, but I haven't used it yet. That could be a Wing It Wednesday, actually. But yes, that's what I'm going to, that's the craft that I would like to try but haven't. And you did only ask, I think, one craft. Then got question 3, Amber from Amber Skin Tire and Crafts. What craft item do I regret buying or never use? Well, can't say I haven't ever used it, because I have used it a lot, but I do regret buying my Gemini. I didn't ask people's opinion of what sort of die cutting embossing machine I should get, and I was pretty naive to know what to get. And I thought the ones that you wind around, if you don't know me and you haven't seen my get to know me from quite a few months ago, I have got brittle bone disease. So I'm 98 years old in bone age. I know I look quite good for that, but no, seriously, I've broken my wrists a number of times. I've pretty much broken every bone in my body, really, apart from my neck, back and hips. So I was worried that I would have problems with my wrist in doing the windy ones. So I got the Gemini because they just push through and it does it automatically for you. But I found I was getting very confused with the sandwich, which bits I was supposed to use. I was always having to look back at the book and refer back to see. And the plates, the plastic ones, didn't last very long. So I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. So I wish I'd have gone for a Big Shot. However, I am picking up my Big Shot today because I've just had a message on my phone to say that it's ready for collection. So I've seen quite a few people use a Big Shot, and it doesn't look too much trouble to wind it through. So I'll be letting you know how that goes. But yeah, I wish maybe I'd asked a little bit and not gone straight for the Gemini. That's not to say it's not for everybody. That's just personal choice. You know, some people will get on it, get on it with no problem, but not for me. So that answers that one, Amber, I hope. Andrea the Cumbrian Crafter. Where is my favourite holiday destination? Well, that's easy, Andrea. I like that question as well because it's a bit different. That has to be Morocco. We love Morocco. I'm just going to take a sip. It's my coffee. So, yes, Morocco. We normally go there in the winter time to get some summer sun for my bones. And it's always hot. Doesn't matter if it's October, November, December, January. It's always hot out there. So the sun, I love it. But the hospitality, the Moroccan people are just second to none. They will do anything to, make your stay enjoyable, or, to make it fun, to help you out. Nothing's too much trouble for them. And they're so friendly. So yes, it's going to be Morocco because that's where we love. We never stay at the same place. We always go around, different places, but it doesn't matter where you go, Morocco. The people are lovely. So that's that one, Andrea. Shirley from Handmade by Shirley. How did you get into crafting? Now, I can't remember, Shirley. I've always done like arty crafty things throughout my life. We did art at school. I've all doodled, painted. I used to make handmade cakes. That's a type of crafting for people. But paper craft, I don't know how I actually got into it. I've always had pens, pencils, paper and things, and I just started making a few handmade cards, and then I started watching some people on YouTube and saw how they did it and gave me sort of ideas and inspiration. I got a bit hooked on Dawn from Shiny Silver Treasures. She was my inspiration for YouTube. Yeah, I don't know how it sort of came about, really. So sorry, that's a bit of a vague answer, isn't it, Shirley? That's not great. Apologies for that. Ashley from Paper and Twine. Which member of crafting royalty would you like to meet? Now, I couldn't decide on this one because I've got two. So definitely, no, I'm not going to pronounce her name correctly, I know. Yulia Brodowski. She is the famous quilling artist. So I love to quill. I haven't done very much on my channel, and I know that. I'm going to put that on my list for next year. But yeah, she is a famous quilling artist. She's got a couple of books. One of them is called The Book of Paper Art, I think, or some, I can't remember what it's called. I'd have to have a look. But yeah, so Yulia Brodowski. Closely second to that would have to be Phil Martin from Sentimentally Yours. Honeypot Crafts. I love watching him as well. I don't know if he counts as royalty. I suppose he does, because he makes his own kits and he's got his own Honeypot Craft shop. So yeah, Phil Martin would be my second choice, Ashley. Then I've got Brenda Road. Now I don't think Brenda's got a channel or anything. So Brenda said, how long before you started on YouTube were you crafting for? Well, quite a long time. A number of years. As I say, I used to watch people on YouTube, and it was only when I got on to watching Shiny Silver Treasures that I thought, and she encouraged me as well, Dawn, she's lovely, and encouraged me to, give it a go. So I don't know how long it was before I started, but it would have been years before I picked that camera up and pressed play. And then I've got Martha from Martha Makes Art over in America. And she's asked, how many children or grandchildren, if you are old enough, do you have? Well, I'm definitely old enough. Martha, I hope you don't mind, but I'm not really going to answer that question because I do talk about a lot of things on YouTube, but I don't talk about my family because that's my personal life. And I wouldn't want all that information going onto YouTube. So I will say I haven't got any grandchildren. Let's leave it there. Okay, so I hope you don't mind on that, Martha. But I'm a bit I don't like talking about those things because you've got to remember this is going out in the public domain. So I've then got Katrina Forsyth. What is my favourite food? Right, easy. Has to be roast lamb. roast lamb is my favourite. And if we're talking about a main dinner, if we're talking about a snack, it'll be crisps. I am a devil for crisps. If we're talking about sweets, it's going to be licorice, because I love licorice. So I hope that answers that one, Katrina. Celia Hitchman, I know you have a dog, Daisy. Yeah, don't we all know I've got a dog called Daisy, because she always barks on my videos. But are there any other animals that you have or had as a pet, or are there any that you would like to own? So we also have a cat. I had 2 cats, but unfortunately my second cat, he passed away about 2 years ago. Now there we go. There's no one at the door. There's no one outside. She's just done a random bark just to say, hey, I'm here. Yeah, we know you're here, Daisy. So I used to have chickens as well in the garden. Don't have them anymore. And I was born on a pig farm. So I've always been surrounded. I love pigs as well. Maybe that's where my love of pink came from. Could be, because I also love hippopotamuses. And don't ask me why, because I don't know where that came from. Maybe it's because they've got pink on them. But yeah, maybe the pigs is the pink thing. I was born on a pig farm. So yeah, I've always been surrounded by animals. But I'm not sure I definitely wouldn't want a hippopotamus. I haven't got the room in my garden for one of them. And I don't think I'd like a little pig running around either. So I'm quite happy with a little Daisy and my cat. So that's it for now. I did have an aquarium once, so I did have fish. I had one of those orbs. I don't have that anymore. So yeah, that's that. Never had a hamster or a gerbil or anything like that. But there we go. So that's that question. Where are we up to? Kaz 0518. What is my favourite thing to craft or make? Well, I'm going to go for baby cards or wedding cards, because I'd like making any cards for any occasion, but wedding cards and baby cards, really cute. Or children's like birthdays with a theme on, I like to make those. So yes, but I've just started journaling. As if you're following me, I'm on my first journal I was selected by Amanda from Scrimping Mummy to be on her design team, and I'm just completing my first journal. So I think journaling may come on the top of the list. So watch this space. So that's my answer for now, Kaz. Hope that's okay. I've then got, let me just take a slurp, because otherwise it will go cold. I've got Lynn from Contenta Crafts. What is my favourite flower? Lynn, it's the dahlia. Dahlia, however you want to say it. Has to be dahlias. I've got a garden bed outside that's got all different dahlias in it. And that's my favourite flower. There aren't any yellow. I'm not a yellow fan. Everyone knows that. In fact, Amber calls me a yellow hater. That's not that I hate yellow. I just don't like it. So yeah, favourite flower, dahlia. Anne Lane, what is your top 3 of crafts that you would like to try that you haven't before? Anne, really good question. I had to really think about this one. 2 of them, quite easy. I'd love to have a go at pressed flowers. And, you know, maybe make them into crafts, laminate them and bookmarks. I don't know, but using my own flowers that I've grown. So I would like to have a go at that. I'd also love to have a go at that mandala, I think that's how you say it, mandala pebble art. You know, where they get the lovely pebbles and then they paint them and then they do the really intricate artwork on the top. I'd love to give that a go. I'm not sure. It looks quite difficult. You've got to have a really steady hand for that. But I would like to give that a go. And then randomly, I thought, do you know what? I'd like to make my own soap. Only because I'm a bit sensitive and fussy as to what's in my soap. And you know, sometimes you read the ingredients and you know, I don't know whether it's going to cause me a rash or so. If I made my own soap, I'd know exactly what was going in there. So I would like to give that a go as well. It's a bit random, isn't it? Anyway, that answers that, Anne. So then I've got Sarah Phillips. How do you overcome creator's block? Do you know what, Sarah? I don't think I've ever had it. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't think I've ever had it, because even if I'm having like my worst bone day, then if I come in my craft room, I'll always find something to cheer me up to do, even if it's only colouring in. But also I keep a book of ideas, craft ideas. So like when I'm watching someone, one of my, you know, regular people that I follow, and they do something, and I think I put a comment and say, that's a really good idea. Do you know what? I think I'd like to give that a go. I write it down because I don't always, I'm not going to do it straight away. And if I don't write it in my book, I'll forget. But if I have a sort of, haven't got a project on the go and I think, what should I do? I'll just open my book, and I've always got an idea in there. So I don't think I really ever have creator's block as such. So sorry about that, Sarah, but I don't think I've ever had it. Not that I can remember. So yeah. We've then got Granny Clampets. What camera and tripod setup do you use for your videos? Well, I use this, which is like a tripod, which it's got a little light on it there on the side, if you can see, and like a ring light, and then you put your camera or whatever you're recording with on this piece here. So that's all I use. It's pretty basic, and it's attached to my desk. I've got also like a ring light in the corner that gives a sort of a yellowy, it's not a bright light, but it helps with the reflections. But that's pretty much it. So that's that one from Granny Clampets. Then I've got Marcy, the Cranky Crafter. Do you have any other hobbies aside from paper craft? Yes, I do. I love gardening. I've got my own allotment, and I grow my own fruit and veg, and I've got my garden at home, flowers and things. So that is a big passion, and it does take up a lot of my time. Sometimes it is difficult because if I'm not having a good day, I find it quite hard to do the gardening, but my other half does all the digging and things for me, so that's good. So like to grow my own fruit and veg. I like to make my own jams and chutneys, and yeah, just we're certainly no way self-sufficient at all, but in respect of fruit and vegetables, my freezer's 3/4 full now for the winter with fruit and veg, so we are self-sufficient throughout the winter and the summer months. Of what I'm growing is what we eat. And actually I did bring up something from my windowsill downstairs in the kitchen, because this is a top tip. You may well already know this, and if you do, just ignore me. But I like to sort of try and not use all the seeds and things, but you know when you have a celery stick and you cut the bottom piece off, most people just throw it away. Well, this here is my celery. You know, this is the little bit that you throw away at the bottom there. And if you can see, I've got roots on it now. It's ready to go outside. So if you put it in a little tub of water on your windowsill, about 3 or 4 days later, you'll start getting little shoots. And you can already see, I think, let me see if I can turn it around. I've got my little celery stalks already. If I lift the leaves up, can you see? I've got my little celery growing in the middle there. And all it needs is a little bit of water for 3 or 4 days, and now that can go in the garden and go in the soil. So yeah, a little tip, and it smells lovely. So that's my garden tip for the day. So gardening, Marcy. I've just dropped my paper, and I think I've only got one question left. Let me just look. Hang on. Yes. And last but not least, certainly not least, Margaret Flaxman. What craft tool could you not do without? Oh, now Margaret, this is really tricky, because I thought, what am I going to choose? I've got so many, I just can't pin it down. I did think about scissors first, but then I thought no, because I can rip paper. I like ripping paper, and you don't need scissors. It would probably be glue or adhesive, because you can't really do much paper crafting without, or fabric. You know, you could use glues for fabric, paper, anything. So I reckon it's going to be glue, because I could pretty much, you know, I don't have to have paintbrushes. I could use my finger for paintbrush. I know I've got to have the paint, but yeah, I'm going to go for glue. It's pretty basic answer there, Margaret, sorry. So that is the question and answers. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It's been such fun. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about me, and even maybe a little garden tip or recycling tip. So we are going to, without further ado, I have got my little iPad here on the desk. I'm going to switch you over to the desk and we'll do the winner. So let me just turn you around. Right, my I don't know what happened there. Hang on. Right, let me get that back on. There we go. Right, I've got my Wheel of Fortune here. And I've got Lynn, Andrea, Shirley, Granny, Jenny, Kaz, Katrina, Margaret, Amber, Celia, Marcy, Brenda, Sarah, Ashley, Christine, Martha, Anne. And if it is, I've got 2 internationals, I think, only. I think that's Martha and Marcy. If it's one of those 2, then I'll be sending them a PayPal monetary voucher. And I'll do a second spin for the prizes. So good luck, everyone. Who's it gonna be? Ooh, Ashley, Christine. Ooh, Christine! We have a winner. Oh, it's Christine. Well done, Christine, from Christine's Cards and Things. Christine, I will check, but I think I have your address already. So I will get that packed up, and I will be sending you your prizes this week. So well done. Thank you everybody for joining. It's been really good, and it's just a fun way, and I will be coming back on tomorrow to do a video. And also I've got my Wing It Wednesday at the end of the month to draw. At the moment I've only got Andrea and Christine joined in. Hashtag Wing It Wednesday if you'd like to join in, have a look at my video, and I'll be picking a winner from that. At the moment I say it's only Christine and Andrea, so but well done, Christine. Yeah, I hope you like your prize, and take care everyone, and see you soon. Bye bye.